Hello, and welcome to Sound Design Hangout 3, the podcast, the Hangout, the Ableton Live Sound Design Hangout. Hope you guys are doing good, and hope you saw my last video, which I think was an absolute barn burner, if I do say so myself. Because honestly, I know it's a technique that probably there's quite a few people that know about it, but I think it's honestly one of the most powerful techniques that's out there. And what it was is, and I think we're going to jump into it later after we sort of cover the first topic for today in our sound design hangout. But yeah, it's making generative ambient music, and we use a bunch of these MIDI effects. We hit one button, or one note, excuse me, and it just plays. And it's kind of like what we did with the follow actions tutorial, where we had a bunch of MIDI clips and we did the follow actions, and it just started launching all these clips. And based on our parameters, we had amazing generative ambient music. Generative, I believe it stems from like Latin, like generate, meaning like to create. So like music that creates itself. And if I'm wrong with that, don't hold it against me. I can't be spot on all the time, but I think you know what I mean. So today I had an idea to just sort of like walk around and talk about general things, like where someone who was somewhat of a beginner could start, like how to start with Ableton. So like right now, if you're looking at my screen, which I bet you probably are, unless you just like hearing me talk, in which case, you got the phone, or you're not even watching, you're just sort of listening to me talk about it, because that's something too. Sometimes just hearing someone talk and listening sometimes can be even more powerful than watching. But in any event, if you're looking at my screen here, there's nothing there. And I can't remember what they call this. I think they call it the dread, the dread of the blank template, or the dread of the blank project, the blank canvas. Where do you start? Well, there's a million ways to start. It's almost like paralysis by overanalysis. Have you ever heard that? And the whole paralysis by overanalysis type thing is sometimes you can be like, oh my God, where to start? You've got all these things going through your head. And that's honestly, I think the first tip is to just get started. But there's so many things we can do. And I might, because this is like a podcast, I might take a break and do a lot of talking like I'm doing right now. Or I might just work and not do any talking. So I'm going to kind of just walk over some convenient tips and tricks and just open up a lot of audio tracks, open up a lot of MIDI tracks, because ultimately in Ableton, you either have an audio track or a MIDI track. And on MIDI tracks, you drop these instruments, which are software synthesizers or soft synths. And they're all synthesizers. Even the samplers are synthesizers because they have volume envelopes, filter envelopes, complex waveforms. I think some people got confused with one of my videos, because I don't think they understood that like samplers are synthesizers. So they're like, I don't get it. He says super synthesizers, yet these aren't even synths, and I'm just like, well, I don't want to be misleading, but you can't, so in any event, you can't win them all. But, so where would we start? Well, one of the ways we can start is let's start with a MIDI track here, this MIDI track we got. And if we want to hear anything from a MIDI track, we have to record enable. And we've got all these instruments we can drop on. So let's drop an operator on here and let's play some notes. Okie dokie, let's lower the volume. So right now we're looking at this beautiful device, which was kind of like the Ableton flagship synthesizer for a long time, especially if you were using this for the last 10 years or whatever, using Ableton. Like Operator was a mainstay, you know, that's how I remember back in the day watching tutorials, like, especially if they were more sound design oriented, it was like all Operator. Cheers. Now you might look at this and especially if you haven't watched my Ableton Live sound design tutorial series, you might look at this and be like, yeah, dude, you might like using Operator because you know how to, tweak it and get some good results, and, you're playing with those envelopes and it's sounding good. And, you're adding spread, which I didn't even know existed. And now it's doing all of these things, and now you're changing up the algorithms here, and you're changing the coarse tuning and even the fine tuning, and you're getting good results. Like, what's going on, man? Like, I can't just, start like that right out the gate. I want to just start making music. I don't want to be like, well, there's some hacks. And don't let it get you down. Let's do some hacks. Delete. So we're going to stick with Operator. Where do we begin? Well, I might say a very dirty word right now. Presets. Come over here and click this triangle. A very effective thing you can do. And in fact, even when you're learning sound design synthesis, and by the way, if you're trying to learn sound design synthesis, that's kind of like a crux of this Ableton Live tutorial channel. One of the best ways to actually learn sound design synthesis, other than following along with my tutorials and practicing on it, one of the other ways is to actually open up presets and see what they did. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go to mallets because, we were doing collision. I like mallets. Let's do bells. Let's drag this on here. So, oh, that's really clicky. What's giving it that click? This is giving it the click. I'm going to lower this oscillator. No, that's not giving it the click. What's giving it the click? Oh, it's probably this. Yeah, I don't really like that. What were they thinking? Well, 48 coarse, that's just insane. Instantly better. I'm going to change this algorithm up here to this one. This one means B modulates A and C modulates, B modulates A and C modulates A, and then D, if we had it, would modulate A, which we might use. Because I think we can get, I want more control of this. This thing's way too loud. This should not be up on chorus. No, you like almost never need the chorus up that high. What were they thinking? Just kidding. What are we, roasting the Ableton devs right now? What's that little slapback? I wasn't playing that 2 times. So anyways, yeah, you might be like, hey, I'm still learning sound design. And what I heard is when I was learning it as well, is they were like, dude, don't sleep on presets, honestly. Like, open some up. Oh, that's probably because they've got this crazy filter on here. Hear that? Like, there's some sort of... There's some sort of looping envelope on. Let's see where the looping envelope is. Let's see if I'm crazy or not. Sync. Look at right here. Told you. Let's go none. Done. Those sneaky little crazy folks. Yeah, this is kind of boring. I don't like this one. I like bells because, let's check this out. So you can kind of play around. These are some kind of crazy parameters, like, but that's kind of a thing with bells. Like FM synthesis, they can make bell sounds really good because bells have a lot of inharmonics, and when you do a lot of crazy, because Operator is really known for like FM synthesis. So when you do a lot of like crazy modulations, it will start introducing like odd harmonics or harmonics that aren't really related. When you start using these fine tune buttons. In fact, I don't really like this. So that's one way you can start. You know, you open up presets, you sort of be like, okay, I like this sound. Why does it sound this way? Okay, well, let's try some of these things, you know? Let's see what sort of routing algorithm. What if we change it? Oh, interesting, you know? This kind of sounds interesting to me, but it sounds kind of dry. So how do we make something not sound so dry? Well, we use reverb, and because we are in love with Ableton's hybrid reverb, which I don't know how I ever lived without before. And by the way, we're deactivating. We hit this little button on the top. Whoa. I don't like that. I want a bigger one. Bigger spaces. Let's go. That's too damn big. Silo cap. Have I used any of these before? I'm going to lower the dry wet. That's too much. Sometimes just a little bit. A little dab will do ya. Yeah, all these teachers, they always kept saying a little dab will do ya. I was just like, man, just I'll dab as much as I want. Okie dokie. So that's one way to start. You know, if you just want to like start playing like a MIDI keyboard, you want to even be playing your, I believe it's called QWERTY keyboard, you know, on your laptop or computer. That's a really good way to do it. You know, just walk in and drop some presets. So let's see here. Let's go to Wavetable. Let's see what kind of Wavetable presets we got. I'm always a sucker for anything ambient and evolving, but a lot of times whenever there's ambient and evolving presets, they'll stack like all kinds of synthesizers. So if you watch my instrument racks, my multi-sample instrument racks tutorial, if you watch that one, I kind of show you how if you, while in instruments, if you go to instrument rack, you can like literally just start dragging. So you got this operator we just dragged. Why would that be so loud out the gate? You know, you can just start dragging multiple instruments. You can change the volumes. Let's go into operator, take it down an octave. You know, you can do that with those instrument racks. That's why with Wavetable, I want to go to ambient and evolving, but I just want Wavetable. Dark Swarm. Let's see dark. See, look, watch. I'm gonna open this up. I bet you there's multiple. Open up. Open up. Ooh, Dark Swarm. This is kind of interesting, right? This is a little bit interesting. Oh, wow. Did you see the filter just, like, do that? Lot of, look at all these modulations on here. And then keep in mind, you can do the resampling, and we got this audio track right here. Let's do this. Why don't we? Resampling, record enabled, and let's just record some stuff, okay? Click record. And I'm going to open this up. I'm going to play some notes. Right now we got nothing. Now we got some notes. Delete. Let's play this. Nothing. I'm wondering if my voice got recorded because I put resampling. It shouldn't, but let's listen. Sounded really loud, but it wasn't clipping, so why was it being all distorted? In any event, let's go in here and let's do this. In fact, let's right-click. If they will let me right-click. I don't know why I'm not able to right-click right now. What am I, forbidden to right-click? Sometimes you have to be hovering in the right area, then you'll be granted all of these wonderful menu options. So let's play this. Times it by 2. I'm gonna launch it again. See if it has that. I don't even know if it sounds that way for you guys. Okay. I'm gonna push Shift Tab to come into this device mode, and I think there's way too many mud range frequencies, kind of in this like 200 to 400 area. Stop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to insert a MIDI track. And I'm going to drop a sampler on here. I'm going to drag this here. And I'm going to hit a note. And I'm going to go to loop mode. And I'm going to move this sample start over here. Because I don't know if you guys can hear this, and I've noticed this has been happening where after I record everything, there isn't these little like feedbacky things, but when I'm listening to it, it sounds like it is, and I can't tell if it's... So I'm going to move this sample start in. So it starts here, because I want to hear this part. Over here, not so much. Here, yes. And the loop start is way over here. I don't want that to happen, because if I play this, you'll see it'll start looping over at the beginning. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So I'm going to move loop start into here, and I'm going to move loop end. And now we have this. And you're going to see it's going to start here. Give it some crossfade. I'm going to move this start back a little bit, and I'm going to go into filter global, and I'm going to give it a little bit of attack. More attack. More attack. More attack. We need release, because we love release on this channel. Sustain is all the way up. Normally I like that because I want to hear full volume when I hold down a note. But typically when something fades in and then it gets to its full volume and then it stays there, it can just sound more organic if you take the sustain down a little bit, draw out the decay, so when it hits its peak, it slowly comes down the volume and it makes it a little bit more organic. Let's listen to this. I'm holding down 2 notes. Then I'm moving down 2 notes. Playing, I believe, a perfect 5th and then another perfect 5th. By the way, this all gets done on my laptop, which the thing I learned, I didn't get better at guitar. I didn't even get better at playing the keys, although I do play those instruments. I got a lot better at playing my laptop's keys because it's so convenient. And that's another tip. Especially if you're working on your sound design, you want to be like playing notes, but then also on your laptop tweaking sounds. And I'm going like this because I may be one of the only people who like uses their laptop for all of their computer work, whether I'm making 3D computer graphics art, or I'm doing Ableton. Like I just do my laptop. I don't want a desktop computer. You know, I sit on a desk and like my back hurts. I need to like sit on this couch. I think someone was like, I love your studio setup. And I couldn't tell, I couldn't tell if they were being serious or not, because I was like, I love it too. And like, it's a very simple setup, really. So yeah, so with just a few little things, we've got this interesting sound. Now let's play with the filter. Let's remove some frequencies. Right now, all the frequencies are being let through. Let's go to modulation. Let's turn on LFO1, turn off retrig, lower the frequency. Let's apply it to filter. No, we're not doing that. I decided I'm not going to be doing that anymore. You want to know why? Well, let's do it first. Let's do it first, okay? So this LFO at 0.06 hertz is going to be moving this frequency very slowly like this. It's going to be doing this. But when we do it, we won't be able to see visual feedback. We'll have to only use our ears, which isn't bad, but sometimes visual feedback can just help you because sometimes you don't want it to go. Sometimes you want to know how far it goes. That's what's great about Wavetable is when you when you use its own inbuilt LFOs on the filter frequency or almost any of the parameters, you get to see them move. But like Sampler was like, I think Sampler was on like the first Ableton like 90 years ago. People were in like the Great Depression in the 1930s. Like, it's the Great Depression and not all is well, but at least we have Ableton's sampler device. Let's give it some filter. So it's moving this, but we can't see it. Right? Let's jack up the frequency. Right? But as far as like this is concerned, it's not moving, you know? So I'm going to turn this off because why do that craziness when we can go to modulators, drop an LFO, and we can get some visual feedback. Look at that. Look how beautiful it looks. It just looks cool. It looks like, you know, I don't know, I mean, like growing up, I would see all these like shows, you know, like when I was like a younger kid, and like these scientists had all these like weird looking instruments that did stuff like this. So here's what we do with the LFO. We click map and it says, what do you want to map? We want the frequency. Look at it. Now we got visual feedback. And by the way, if you didn't know, this low-pass filter, a low-pass filter, oh, I can't move it. I'm going to delete this. Low-pass filter says, okay, here's the frequency spectrum from 0 hertz, which is nothing you can hear, all the way up to 20,000 hertz. This is saying, this little box right here, it says only let these frequencies in. Cut all of these out. So ready? All the way open. It's cutting them away. And if you changed it to this, it's saying cut all of these away. Bandpass. Let's put it on 12. It's obviously it's cutting all of these out and cutting all these out, so you have a different kind of sound. This is another good one. I need to do a lot more notch filter, because listen to this. You get this effect. I should probably do that one more. But I'm a creature of habit, and I'm going to do the good old low-pass filter. So let's bring that LFO back in here. Map. And let's play some notes. It's too much. And it's still playing, and I'm not even holding down notes. Probably because there's some release on there. So let's bring down this depth. Too fast. Let's bring down the rate. Let's give it some jitter, so it's not a perfect sine wave, so it kind of like jitters. A little bit too much. It sounds a little too frantic. It sounds like me when I'm drinking too much coffee because I'm trying to get a quick buzz. All right. Adjust it to taste. And so now we get visual feedback. I think Ableton is going to revamp their sampler and operator device sometime in the future. That would probably be a good idea. Cheers. I was going to say let's drink to that, but I know there's probably like people watching who are not able to do that, so I don't want to encourage activities. So we just had a whole lot of fun doing this. So much fun that I'm going to delete both of these. That gave me an idea. I'm like, let's sample that. So where else would you start? You know, you might be like, oh man, you know, I don't want to start in any of those places. Well, let's go to packs. You get these packs with Ableton. Let's go to orchestral mallets and let's go to click sounds. Let's find one of these. See what one of their marimbas sounds like. I've been geeking out on marimbas. If you watched my physical modeling synthesis tutorial, actually it wasn't even a tutorial, it was actually SDHO2. SDHO2, we played with Collision, which is Ableton, it's percussion mallet synthesizer, but these are actually multi-sampled marimbas. So it's a multi-sampled instrument where yeah, like literally someone was playing a damn marimba and like they were recording every hit. Like check this out. Let's do rolls, marimba rubber rolls. Drop it. Record enable. So yeah, this is like multi-sampled instrument. It's a very loud one. So like they've got these macros for you, so we can like dial this in to what we want. I've got an idea. Guys, I've got a really good idea. Let's insert an audio track. Let's record the output from Marimba Rubber Rolls. And let's record this. Delete. ×2. Let's do another ×2. Zoom in and move it to here. Zoom out. Click play. This is why I love this technique. let's do divide 2. All right, I'm going to throw a delay on here and just try to wash it the heck out. Just wash this dirty synth. I'm gonna give it some of this modulation here. Give it some reverb. Let's do regular reverb. Too much pressure to always use the hybrid reverb. Yeah, when you've got a lot already going on, reverb doesn't really do a whole lot, to be honest with you. Let's put it on here. Let's go, let's throw something interesting on here. Throw a phaser flanger. Put it on hertz. Lower the hertz. Turn down the dry wet. Hear that annoying click over? That's the disadvantage to using an audio clip, because if you zoom in here, see how there's this line? That's like a zero crossing. So you need to actually find where it crosses here, but even when you do that, even when you'll still get those clicks, and those clicks will click, 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 click when you've got a delay, right? Because the delay is like delaying a copy. So you're hearing that click, click, click. Reverb could help with that, but it might not. So like, I don't know. Let's see if we get rid of it. Because right now, like I put these on zero crossing. So let's see if we get rid of it. Heard that click? Yeah, I mean, it's not always a surefire bet. So yeah, that was fun. Delete. Command-Shift-T. MIDI track. Now let's do that fun thing we were doing earlier today, which you can watch in the in that other tutorial video I made, which I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet. I haven't even finished editing it. It's I might, you know, after I'm done with this, I might do the final editing. But yeah, we used a bunch of MIDI effects to do this generative technique. So this is how we're going to close the video off. I think I told you that we were going to do that technique again at the end of this video. So like before we get to that, I just kind of wanted to let you know that, like, yeah, there's a few places you can start. Like, those are just some ideas where to start. You know, you can start with a blank synthesizer and work on your sound design and play notes while you play the synthesizer and tweak different parameters. If that's too much, you know, you can come in and you can choose a preset, you know, and not only is that allowing you to just play a synthesizer right away, so you can just play and be musical, or you know, draw in MIDI clips. Excuse me. But you can be like, oh, this sounds really good to me. Why does it sound good? Oh, because they had this routing algorithm, and you know, it just looks pretty, or it sounds pretty good. So I'm going to come over to instruments, and because, you know, I'm all about designing my sounds from scratch, not trying to sound pretentious here. Give it some release. Lower the volume. Give it some sub. Lower it a little bit. So let's go ahead and let's drop a chord on here. I'm going to go up 4, which is a major third. So without it, it's an E. I'm going to give the amp a little bit of more of an attack. Turn it on. 7, now it's a major chord. It's my least favorite chord. But if we do 11, I've got a major 7 chord. (14), that is a major 9 chord, without, with. Ooh, let's do 19. That is the perfect 5th up an octave. Ooh. Let's drop an Appreciator. Now, if you put the Appreciator here, let's turn off chord. Let's play that same note again. It's just repeating this E over and over again, over an 8th, 48ths. But if you put this chord here, it's going to do that to the chord. Now this chord is, every time I play a note, it's playing 4 up. So it's playing, so right now I'm playing just in the note E. Now when I put this on, as you know, it's now playing, in addition to E, it's going to play a note 4 semitones up, a note 7 semitones up, 11 up, and you get the idea. So if we put the Appreciator here, it's going to play that chord with the rate of 12th notes. So but if we move it here, it's going to cycle through these notes. And right now, I'm holding one note down. I'm holding one note down, and it's doing all of this stuff. That's how cool it is. So I'm going to change some parameters while this plays, because it's too clicky at the beginning. I'm going to play another note down. Ready? Ready? Doesn't really work, but that's okay. It still sounded cool. Okay, I'm holding one note down. Playing another note. You know what? You know what? I think we need some reverb. Go into EQ. Make sure it's checked. Let's take some of these lows out. Bass mono, give it some vintage quality. Let's play the wavetable. Let's modulate that. Let's go into LFO1, take off retrig, move down the hertz, go into matrix, oscillator 1, let's give it a little bit. Let's play with the filter. Let's give that to LFO1 as well. No, LFO2. give some delay. So let's do a different wavetable. This collection, they've got these like random names and they're very good. In fact, the first one, Amber, is really nice. Let's see what this sounds like. Let's give it a filter drive. Ouch. Too much filter. Too much filter. Ah, that really hurt my ears. Yeah, let's lower this a little bit. Probably too much filter drive. Ooh, I know what we need to do. Let's add a chorus. Let's do my favorite trick. I was about to like do my delete and then I was like, nah, I think I kind of want to play this at some point. So now let's go in here. So yeah, I mean, I really like this technique, you know, because you get to like record. I mean, you get to basically choose the notes, and then like this will just play them. And I'm actually going to turn this off right now. I'm going to come into here. So let's play something really quick. Change the patterning. Count and diverge is a good one. Oh man, that sounds amazing. So yeah, that's like one of my favorite techniques. If you want to know more about that, I would suggest you watch the video that I posted right before this, which isn't even out yet as of me speaking. It will be when you watch it because I haven't finished editing it yet. It might even be done. I had fun. I hope you had fun hanging out and designing some sounds. And hopefully you got some new techniques out of this. And again, the video previous to that will go more. So if you found this interesting and useful, please like, comment, and subscribe. And watch the other tutorials. These SDHOs, we get into a lot more talking, and they're a little bit more random, off the cuff. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good night, and I hope you are doing well. Take care.